Hey everyone, so welcome back to a tutorial. Now the tutorial today is going to be how to do push-ups. Today we're going to walk through it together. The point of these tutorials is to help you and to help other people get better at maybe a specific exercise or a kind of workout. But we're going to use the most common exercises that people have a hard time with so that we can start from the basics. So when you do a push-up, for example, what do you find is the hardest thing?
Not so much the pushing down, but the pushing it up. And especially like for us women, it's just so hard. And I really get often asked, why is it so much easier for men and so hard for us women? Well,
you know, the history of how men and women genetically were predisposed to more physical activity or more taking care of the family just tends to push the genders in different directions, but also men have more testosterone, so that also is a strength building mechanism. It's complicated from both biomechanical, historical point of view, and also just chemical point of view. But the long and short of it is that anyone can get good at doing a push-up. You just need to do it in many different ways, applying some very simple techniques so that you can break down the exercise and then understand it and put it all back together.
And what is really important is that if you do a push-up, I learned this from him, try to do it either the full way, but don't try halfways, better do them on your knees at that point.
Yeah.
Otherwise you strain your joints and you don't use the muscles. So what I personally in my journey is now is that I'm really trying to go as low as possible or do it on my knees because I don't have the strength yet. But what we see often in our clients is that they can't even let go down. So for me already it's hard to come up, but for most people it's already hard just to bend a little bit.
Yeah, and so let's take that as a starting point. Inclination is going to have something to do with weight. So you can imagine, like when they build the pyramids are like on a 45-degree angle, right? So those super heavy stones that weigh tons and tons, if you push them on a diagonal, they're a lot lighter, right? This is the way gravity influences weight. So same thing with us. If we do something on an incline, we'll be a lot lighter. Imagine if you had like an injury, because a lot of people come to us too who have shoulder problems, or maybe they fell on their wrist and broke their wrist. They really don't like doing push-ups at first. So let's go through the very first, easiest way you can start to do a push-up. You ready?
Yeah, I'm scared.
Okay, come to the wall. So literally, the easiest push-up you can do is a wall push-up. Now, once your hands are on the wall, you need to be just a little bit, today's is a good distance away, with your hands lower down so that they're basically in line with your shoulders. A little bit lower. Okay, if you walk a step forward, you can understand how this is the most vertical of positions and so it's the lightest. So, begin to do a push-up on the wall. As you go into this position, what you do get a good feel of is elbow position, and they need to be kind of tucked in. Not high, but tucked in. So as you can see, Teresa can do this really easily. This is not a challenging exercise for her, but it might be where you start to do your push-ups. Now, to make it just a little bit harder, and if you've had any experience with physical therapy, you might add a band to this exercise. So what I'm going to ask Teresa to do is put her hands on the band, and once her hands are on the band, and she has the band against the wall, by pushing into the band at the top of the move, you're mimicking the hardest part of the exercise, which is that coming back up part. So this can be something that you can do as a way to go from basic level 1 to level 2, okay? And you can just keep shortening up the band to make it harder and harder. So those are good ways. If you're recovering from a shoulder or wrist injury or elbow injury, you can literally start like this. Now,
and if you feel like the cracking in your bones, like I was doing a little bit in my shoulder and my wrist, what is that?
Okay, so typically if you crack the first couple times, it's probably just the adjustments being made in your joints to deal with the pressure, and so then they'll stop. But if you keep cracking, you need to adjust your position. So you might need to work even closer in, or what I've noticed is that you might need to lift your chest even higher when you do the push-up. A big problem is that people are too rotated internally when they do it. So basically, you can understand that this is the levels 1 and 2. Now, to get into level 3, you basically just add more of slope. So today, we're going to use boxes. At home, you can use like a couch or some kind of steady surface. as Tere's already said, if you do push-ups on your knees, you can be already lighter. So what she's going to demonstrate is a push-up on your knees on the boxes. Okay? So this is like a level 3. Come out into your knees, please. And then once you have your hands on the boxes, you put your hands in that same position that you're already working with. Move your knees back just a little bit more so that from your hips to your shoulders you have a straight line. And begin to do your push-ups like this. So as you can see, this is already getting harder, but it does allow Teresa to do full range of motion. And that's what she was talking about at the beginning. You want to get into the ability to do full range of motion, whether it be on the wall, whether it be like this, or whether it be eventually on the ground. Okay? So once you see she's done a couple of these times, you can use, we won't do it today, but you can use the band at this moment too to wrap around and push it to the band, and that could be like a level 3B. Okay?
How many of repetitions?
So repetitions, if you're dealing with the strength, you're going to be doing up till about 6. If you're dealing with hypertrophy, which is building the muscle size, you're going from about 6 to 12. And if you're dealing with muscle density, which is called sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, you're dealing with over 15 repetitions. So it really depends what you want to do. Are you getting stronger? Then do 6, up to 6. If you want to build muscles, do about 6 to 12. If you want to get stronger, denser muscles, but not bigger muscles, you want to go 15 and above.
So what about though if those 6 are super easy for me?
So then you start to lower the weight even more, which means if you're really adding weight, you're lowering the position, and you can take it now down to a level 4, which would be something like this, which is again it's hard. You stay on your knees for a second, sweetie. You still go on the knees because you still want full range of motion. So go ahead and go down. Good. And you can see she can produce the full range of motion. That's the ideal setup every time. And you might stay there for weeks, if not months, until you can get stronger. Right?
I just stood for years.
So while Teresa's doing this, the next thing to understand before we go any further are the phases of a movement. When Teresa goes down, that's called the eccentric phase. That's when everyone is the strongest. When she comes back up, it's called concentric phase. That's when everyone's the weakest no matter what. You can work isometrics, which is the middle phase. So one of the things you can do, if you got to this level 4, you can go into like a half push-up and just hold it here. That's also going to build strength. So for example, Teresa will do 3 push-ups where she just holds it halfway for 5 seconds. So she'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and push. Good. And like 2 more times. Remember, you got to keep your core tight and your glutes tight. 4, 5, and push. And do one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and push. And so that's like a level 4 already, a little bit harder. Now, when you go to level 5, let's say this is finally the moment where you're going to straighten your legs. You bring back that higher box that you were on. So you make it like less heavy, but with the legs more heavy. And again, you might not do more than 6 times. And this is where now for Teresa, it is hard work. So what your goal here is to get stronger. Now, what I'd like you to do, Teresa, is just rest for a moment. Remember I told you guys that you are the strongest when you go down, right? So you can get super strong by only doing eccentrics. So what both Teresa and I are going to do is do 3 push-ups where we just do the down part, and then I don't care how you come back up. So you're just going to go slowly down, then you put your knees down, set it back up.
Is that the eccentric going down?
Eccentric going down. Okay, so hands in position. Legs
On
straight. Okay? You're going to go all the way down. So you slowly all the way, and then just come back out of it however you can. You don't need to do the full push-up. And again, you go all the way down. Come out of it however you can. And then you're going to do one more where you go all the way down. Good. And if you do it this way, you'll get used to doing the part of the move that you're strongest at. And you'll build muscle. You actually build the most muscle in the eccentric portion of the exercise. So that could be good. That's already level 5. And for today, the tutorial takes us to level 5. There's weird and crazy ways you can do push-ups to make it super, super hard. But if you're learning how to do a push-up, these are the basic tips.
I have one good exercise that I would recommend too. You go on your forearm and you go like that. So let's go on our forearm, and this is how I've been learning, and that what made me better is basically here pushing it down and then pushing it up. Right?
Yeah. This is a great exercise because what's happening in the push-up is you have three major muscle groups involved. You have the chest, you have the triceps, and you have the shoulders. But the weakest link is the shoulders. So what Teresa is doing is basically a modified shoulder press. Okay, sometimes people call these yoga push-ups or Hindi push-ups, but the goal here is to build the strength in the weakest link. So it's a really good tip because the same way as you're exploiting different parts of the exercise, if you exploit different muscles in the move, you get stronger and stronger in those weaker muscles, allowing you to then become the strongest that you can.
The strongest that you can, and that, often, we practice yoga, we practice sports, and we like to maybe do some positions that we simply can't because we're not strong enough. So side exercises that might have nothing to do with yoga or with Pilates or with fitness in general. Side exercises are very good so you become better in what you want to do. So I'm learning how to pincha, which is the dolphin pose in yoga. I'm still not there yet, but all these exercises are super big help to get there.
Yeah, so accessory exercises, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Being good also at different kinds of physical activity also has carryover. So there's a lot of good tips here. I think what's most important too is consistency. You can't expect to get good at something if you do it infrequently. So you might have to work at this multiple days a week. So let's say if you did it 2 days a week, that would be ideal. But if you're still not getting results, maybe try to do it a third day a week, even if you're just working on this, and you'll see you'll progress a lot better.
Yes, so thank you for joining and watching. We hope that you will do this, so when you come back in our studio or you work online out with us, we see you stronger.
Yeah, and if you guys have anything else you want to see, tutorials, let us know in the comments. Please subscribe. And looking forward to seeing you again soon. Okay, take care.
Thank you.
Bye.